days regarding his future. Looks like he was staying, then going. Where are we at?
Well, where we're at is the follow-on from the it looks like he's staying, then he's going, was this suggestion that he was thinking of staying until the fans whistled him the other day, until the fans were on his back, and he was very upset about that, and that's now one of the reasons why he's thinking about going. Atletico Madrid say they don't know, say that he hasn't yet communicated what his final decision will be. There's been conversations, there's been attempts to try and convince him. There's been a huge contract offer made, more money even than Barcelona can pay him, or at least more money than they were going to.
Right.
Whether or not that changes that, obviously, is another issue. But I must admit, call me an old cynic, Dan, but I feel like that story about, well, I was going to stay but they whistled me, feels a little bit like the justification for when you go. You say, well, look, it wasn't my fault, it was you lot were all of Barcelona's players have talked relatively openly now about how they would love to have him there. Messi said it, Suarez has said it, that's the endorsements you need. And so, yes, that's likely to be the outcome.
The SBI odds have not changed since we last brought them to you. Still 53% for Real Madrid, 47% for Liverpool. In terms of determining who might win, though, we have our own methods here on ESPN FC.
It wouldn't be a Champions League final without an off-the-wall predictor. So we've come to the Hydro Park, which is the largest outdoor gym in Kiev, and it's pretty unique because all the equipment is made out of old Soviet machinery. So what we've done is set things up. You've got Andre representing Real Madrid, Victor, Liverpool. The concept, like my beautiful assistant Stuart Robson, is simple. Whoever can bench press 10, the quickest, indicates who will win the Champions League final. Right then, boys, get into position.
Get into position, come on.
Here we go. Real Madrid against Liverpool in 3, 2, 1, go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Real Madrid, once again, are the winners of the Champions League, according to our equipment predictor.
It doesn't get any more scientific than that, does it? No more scientific. We haven't got any old Soviet machinery here, apart from these two. Old machinery.
All right. May not be as heavy as that, but
You want to pass
Liverpool,
the fives over and you take the sixes?
Liverpool,
Sure,
Real Madrid,
yeah, sure.
little
really
Ukraine
wanna
just
push
thrown
myself.
into the
Yeah.
mix.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how scientific this is going to be, but
you see it.
let's see what we got.
Are you seeing it? You see it?
veins.
Yeah,
Veins
look at the
popping
veins.
already.
Arnold Schwarzenegger never saw anything like this.
No, he has not.
He really did not.
No, hey, work it. Work it. Commit
Yeah,
to it.
there we go.
I mean,
There we
believe
go.
in
That's
it. If you don't
£4.
believe in it,
£4.
it's not only physically. You gotta
Wait a
feel
second,
it
that might be
mentally.
too much for you, Aiden. Might have to get some twos in here.
Senior football writer Mark Ogden then alongside me. We're of course here for the Champions League final, Mark, but let's just take a moment to take a look at this. Some of these transfer rumours doing the rounds regarding Manchester United, starting off with Oliveira, moving from White Hart Lane.
Yeah, I mean, United have had problems at the back for quite a while. Chris Smalling, Phil Jones had a difficult day in the cup final. Eric Bailly's been dropped recently. Dale Blint's going to be sold. Marcus Rojo's not in the team. So Mourinho really needs a commanding centre half and somebody he can rely on to be a leader, really. The one issue with Alderweireld is his injury, his fitness record. But, you know, Pochettino's made it pretty clear that he can leave this summer, and United wants him. So I don't think it'll happen before the World Cup. I think players are now in kind of World Cup mode, away with the squads. But I do think that, you know, Alderweireld is a player that will make United better, and I think, you know, United need him.
Meanwhile, Fred, where's this come from?
Well, Fred's been on the go since maybe January time, because Man City tried to get the deal done in January. They were really keen to get it over the line. They couldn't get it done, and we all thought that, you know, City was getting in the summer Fernandinho, obvious replacement. But about a month later, the Shakhtar president came out and said he's going to Manchester. Well, City pulled out. City publicly pulled out and said he's not coming to us. So he's either going to Man United or Stockport County. I think he's going to Man United. So, but again, he's a player that United need. Michael Carrick's retired.
Yep.
Marouane Fellaini will probably leave. You know, Matic needed somebody alongside him last season because Pogba couldn't play that role with any discipline. So I think Fred is a player that will come in, make life easier for Matic, and potentially make life a lot easier for Pogba. Which, if that happens, makes life easier for Mourinho because he doesn't have this question about Pogba's focus and whether he can play a role. So I think Fred's quite a key signing if United can get it done, but it sounds like that one is much more advanced than Alderweireld.
Now, anyone else regarding United that you may have heard?
Alex Sandro is a player that, again, Shaw will probably leave this summer. Ashley Young is 33 this summer. Daly was mentioned before that Blint is going. So, you know, Alex Sandro, again, he fits the Mourinho bill, a player that's kind of late 20s, proven player, a guy that has a lot of assists in his game as well, so he can create as well as defend. I think Mourinho wants to build a team that he's ready to go next season. He can't wait around for 2-3 years to catch Pep Guardiola and Man City. He has to get it done now. And I think it might leave United with an older squad when Mourinho goes eventually, but it's all about the here and now, and I think Alexander is, again, a perfect acquisition.
Well, Ogden, thank you very much. It's going to be a busy summer of transfers, isn't it? And of course, to keep up to date with all of them as and when they happen, keep it here on ESPNFC.com.
On Ronaldo, it's hard to get away from his record this season.
Yeah.
How good is Ronaldo in terms of the threat?
Really good. I think he showed it. Even I think in times where people said he's not in good form or something, he scored goals and he helped Real win games. So he will always be a threat for every team who he plays against, because he already showed what I just said. So you know, I think that will give him also confidence that even if he's not in form or in shape, that he can you know, be dangerous for our opponent.
Is it the same for Mo Salah? Is he the guy that gives you the extra edge? Because his goal scoring record this season has been incredible.
Yeah, especially this season. The way he was scoring goals was unbelievable. Not only for him, but for us. I think for the supporters, for everyone who witnesses what he did this season in the Premier League was unbelievable. What he did, and you know, credits to Mo. I hope he can do it in the final. So,
if Ronaldo and Messi are the best two players in the world right now, where is Mo?
You know, it's difficult to say. Messi and Ronaldo already doing it for years. This season, he definitely can compete with them. But if you want to speak about the level of Messi and Ronaldo, a player has to do it for many more years. I don't know how many years they're already doing it. How many years they are first and second at the Ballon d'Or is unbelievable.
We got a big final at Wembley on Saturday. This is the Championship playoff final. Remember, a one-off game. They call
Fulham.
They call this the £170 million game. Fulham against Aston Villa, winner take all for the Premier League. Fulham, of course, used to be called Fulham America for good reason. Brian, you started that trend. And
Carlos was actually there before me. Eddie Lewis is there. Martin Hanneman. I mean, there's.
Wait a minute.
But you were the one that made your mark. Look at this.
Oh! How come I haven't gotten an
Bride's
invite?
bar. Look at that.
No invite.
I'll work on that.
What is this?
please.
What is this bar, Brian? This is in your honour. Is it at the stadium?
Yeah, it's at the stadium. It's on the back side by the river.
Yeah.
And
The patrons gather there
very
pre-game.
nice. Exactly. Very nice. Never expected it.
But that trend that you were a part of starting, and so many Americans have gone to Fulham, continues with Tim Ream there at the moment, big central defender, being a big part of their campaign. What have you seen from him? What have you seen from the team?
Yeah, I think the team has been playing some excellent soccer throughout the competition, and unfortunately just barely missed out going up directly.
Last day of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tim Ream's had a great season. He's solidified his position as far as defensively what he's asked to do. He gets asked to actually bring the ball out and start the play pretty much.
Yeah.
His partnership in the beginning of the season was with Callas, now it's with Adoy, and both those players are a little bit more physical than Tim. What that does is allows Tim to actually be on the ball a little bit more, and the connection he has with McDonald, with Sessegnon, they really utilize that left-hand side, and Tim's had a great season.
One-off game, Ali. Both these teams, no strangers to the Premier League. Fulham were there in 2014, Villa in 2016.
And I wonder.
I know you get excited.
I wonder the mindset of the players, because you just mentioned the economics.
It's the most valuable game
and the finances of it all.
Yeah.
And I wonder, players in that position, do they internalize that? I'm sure that they realize, okay, they win, they're gonna go up. Everybody knows that. But how much of a difference it makes to the club and to their own lives, the fact that they would be in the Premier League because of those finances and because of that money influx that comes into the club. I'm sure that they're not thinking about that as they prepare for the game, but it's certainly something that has to play a part because, look, it makes a difference in everybody in that locker room and everybody in each of those organizations.
The funny thing is you would think that would result in cagey, really tense affairs, but so many of these championship playoffs have been wide open.
Yeah, not last year's.
4-3, not last year's.
Yeah.
No, well, Huddersfield were involved. There was a good reason for that.
You know, the experience that Villa has is telling. And to Ali's point, most of their team has been in the Premier League, and so they'll understand that. Now, Fulham has quite a few that have played in the Premier League. I think the real objective for Fulham is going to have to be continue to play the type of soccer that you've been playing. Aston Villa is a type of team that likes to break up games, so sort of make it hodgepodgey and slow the game down, difficult to beat. Whereas Fulham like to be free and open, press the ball higher up, always passing out of the back. So it should be a really interesting one-off game, and one I hope Fulham comes away with.
Well, I was going to put you on the spot. I
please.
can ask you for a prediction, but this would be one of the upsets of all time if you went in the other direction.
Yeah.
You went claret and blue. You would not be allowed to
There
do
wouldn't be the name, which might not be there anyways next year.
Bride's Bar, or would it? But
I'm going Fulham 2-0.
Fulham 2-0.
How many drinks do you think would flow at my Bryce bar? Both at Craven Cottage and
Yes.
your house.
Yes.
Huh? It's going to
At
flow.
the other
isn't it?
McBride's Bar.
Yeah.
We've got
a secondary one.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
I'm going Fulham. I'm
You're
going
going
Fulham
Fulham?
simply.
That's my boy, Ali.
Well, yes, I'm going Fulham because of Brian McBride, but I'm also going Fulham because I appreciate the way that they play much more so than I do Aston Villa.
West London over West Midlands all the way. You're saying Fulham to accompany Cardiff and Wolves into the Premier League next year. You can see if those predictions come true right here on ESPN Plus. For full coverage starting Saturday from Wembley, 11:55 a.m. Eastern.
Counting down not just to the World Cup, but to the start of the summer transfer window. Alexis Yuna is here with Alejandro Moreno, and that does not mean that we're going to wait for the window to open to tackle some rumors. Let's start off with this one that I'm a fan of, Ale. Toby Alderweireld to Manchester United. Dare he leave Spurs?
You're a fan of Toby, the player?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm just wanted to ask a question.
It's causing drama.
No. I'm just. I was just asking a fair question. Toby Alderweireld. It's important for him and Spurs to understand what his contract situation is. If he's allowed to stay this year and then leave next year, he's going to go at a very cheap price when you consider what the market is nowadays. So if you're going to get some return on your investment, if you're Spurs, probably want to deal him right now and make sure that you get and maximize the best price available. Where is that big money going to come from? A big club like Manchester United. To me, there's a need for Manchester United. There is a want for Toby Alderweireld, and I think financially speaking, it makes sense for Spurs as well.
All right, well, West Ham, we know that they have had their struggles this past season. They have a new manager now, though, Arnautovic. Do you think he might not have a place under the new manager and probably find pastures green at Man United?
It's not so much about what the new manager is going to do with Arnautovic. I think he has a place in that team. I just don't think that he's an upgrade to whatever Manchester United has right now in place. There are other players and other names that maybe Manchester United is interested on. He would be just a squad player in Manchester United. I don't think this is the sort of guy whose person. This is a miss for me.
All right, well, it's hard to think that Manchester City have much to improve on after their record-breaking season, but Pep is there for a longer period of time now, and we know that he's going to start putting his full print on this team. So would Jorginho be in his plans, hit or miss?
When you consider Manchester City and the amount of games that they're going to be playing and the amount of competitions that they're going to be in, a guy like Fernandinho, who is critical to their success, needs somebody to step in naturally and be a holding midfielder. They don't quite have that player in place. Jorginho would be that option. If you're Jorginho, if you go to Manchester City, you may not be getting the same sort of playing time that you were getting in Napoli, but you're going to be winning things, and maybe there's value to that. So competition for Fernandinho, or perhaps flexibility for Pep Guardiola. Either way, I think it benefits Manchester City.
Antoine Griezmann, a name that really needs no introduction. He speaks for himself, and that we know that other clubs have taken notice, like Barcelona. Does he leave Atletico Madrid to the Catalan?
And they have taken notice for a while now. Yes. And there's been a lot of conversation about this coming from Barcelona, coming from Antoine Griezmann, coming from Atletico Madrid. There is something to this. It feels like Antoine Griezmann wants this to happen, that Barcelona wants this to happen. And in the end, I don't think that Atletico Madrid is going to be able to hang on. Antoine Griezmann, he gone.
All right, well, if Antoine Griezmann is gone, let's talk about your countryman, Rondon, because I know you don't want to see him languishing at West Brom after they just got relegated. So would a move to Atletico Madrid be a hit or a miss?
And as much as I love Jose Salomon Rondon, pride of Venezuela, I would tell you. Well, yeah, well, actually, he's probably better than me. Just slightly. That tiny
Just slightly.
Tiny bit. Well, in any case, Salomon Rondon, yes, he needs to leave West Brom. Nobody wants to go play in the championship, right? But as much as I love him, he wouldn't fill the gap that Antoine Griezmann would leave. He would be filling the gap that Fernando Torres is leaving. So he would be more of a guy that's an option off the bench that can score a goal here and there, but not your everyday striker. He's not going to do. He's not the same sort of player that Antoine Griezmann is, so he's not going to do those sort of things. However, from his perspective, the championship or Atletico Madrid? Yeah.
It's obvious. Hit. All right.
It is a post-weightlifting edition of ESPN FC Extra Time. You can probably see these guys are a little
Hydration.
worse for wear.
That's all right.
You needed a hydration break, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
After 30 minutes.
My 6-pound weights. Woo!
You could feel the burn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I retired a long time ago.
If you're watching Extra Time and haven't watched the show, you probably don't know what we're talking about, but it was part of the prediction process to decide who would win the Champions League. Very scientific methods, as always.
Yes.
As always employed on this show. Didn't we use pigeons in Milan?
We used pigeons in Milan.
Sheep shearing?
Sheep shearing in Cardiff, yes.
Yeah.
Right. That was life-threatening, by the way.
Yeah. Did those predictions actually come true? I don't know if anyone's keeping track.
I have no idea, to be honest. I don't know how we're doing in the prediction department.
Someone somewhere knows whether they came true. But the weightlifter said Real Madrid, by the way. So did you two guys. I didn't. I may live to regret that.
Okay.
These things tend to live on when you predict wrong around here.
Only if Dan hears you.
Yes. Talking of the Champions League final, Jamel wants to know any red cards that you see forthcoming in the Champions League. Very specific prediction here, but well, is it the sort of game where someone could be sent off?
Yeah, I mean, you think right away about Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
And you hear Robbo talking about Ramos not being afraid of defending against Salah one-on-one. I don't think anybody would be happy to defend Salah one-on-one at the moment. No. So I could see a couple yellows coming his way, maybe.
Yeah.
You brought up a Real Madrid name. If you bring up a Liverpool name, Dejan Lovren has accident waiting to happen.
A moment of madness in him, does he?
Well, I'm merely suggesting that Stevie Nicol would prefer to have anybody else but Dejan Lovren on the field.
Right.
But he's going to play,
Yeah.
and he better play well.
Yes. He will have his hands full.
Yeah, he will.
Quite literally at times. And may get sent off for having his hands full too.
And don't count out Casemiro as well, because he likes to go crazy every once in a while.
Yeah. Changing tournaments to the World Cup. Who are you supporting in the World Cup? Says, well, I'm not even going to pronounce that. A load of Roman numerals. But Brian?
Ireland?
Without
No,
the
Italy.
US there?
No,
Without-
Holland.
No,
Chile.
Chile. No, you went through everyone that's not there.
I know.
Anyone left?
Hey, Venezuela?
USA. Damn. That's it.
Venezuela?
Venezuela.
Yeah.
Right. Forgot.
Any rooting interest at all? CONCACAF teams? You want to see CONCACAF teams do well?
Well, of course you want to see them do well.
Yeah.
I'd like to see France.
France. All right. No, you're not. You can't.
You're not very
you can't
excited
root,
about
you
that.
You can't root for Mexico. You said you want to see CONCACAF teams do well. You can't. Can you?
Yeah, you can root for them.
Can you really?
It helps.
The arch enemy.
It helps
They are
in
the
the
arch
long
enemy.
run.
That's like England rooting.
Listen,
for
I'm not. I think I've explained this before on this show.
Uh-oh. He's annoyed now.
I'm a diehard Cubs fan, Chicago Cubs fan.
Yeah.
But I'm not a White Sox hater.
Okay.
So, listen, if the Cubs are playing the White Sox,
Right.
I am going to be fully behind.
Does that mean
you see where I'm getting?
No, but does it mean you would root?
It doesn't mean I'm going to root for
Would you
Mexico
root for the
to win.
Cardinals in the World Series, though?
Yeah, of course.
You would, yeah.
I went to school at St. Louis,
All right.
so yeah.
Okay.
The man of the world, apparently.
Ali, rooting interest?
All South America all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
All South
You take
America.
Brazil, you take Argentina, you take Peru.
All the time. I'll take Peru. If they make a deep run, I'll ride Peru, and I'd be happy because Peru is the sort of teams that Venezuela would compete against in order to make it into this sort of tournament. So it would give us hope.
Right.
So, all South America,
48
all the time.
teams gives you hope in the next World Cup.
Yeah, and I don't even like that.
Oh, 2 World Cups.
Yeah.
To be confirmed.
Yeah.
Nick's Kittens. Why do I mention Nick's Kittens? Because he's provided the next question, the intriguingly titled Nick's Kittens. Simple question, Zlatan or Carlos Vela? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. I guess you can take this any way you want, right? Well, you know?
Man.
Yeah. I'm the same boat.
I'm going to go Carlos Vela.
Okay.
I think.
In what context?
In the context that I'm considering this as what I'm going to get from him on the field.
Yeah.
And Carlos Vela is a player that so far has been certainly more productive than Zlatan, but regardless of his productivity, Carlos Vela, I think, is a player that is driven now like he wasn't before, simply because he wants to be a part of this World Cup team in Mexico. And, oh, by the way, his transition to this new team, new franchise at LAFC, has put him in a position of leadership that he had never been before as a player. And for all that we hear is that he has been a Class A citizen for LAFC. His performances have said that as well.
Brian?
It's a tough one. I'm with Ali. I think I love me some Zlatan.
Yeah.
And if I had a chance to play with either two, I'd love to play with Zlatan. But if I'm building a team, if I'm going to say, all right, the one player I'm going to build around, I'm going to go with Vela.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Vela is more in his prime. But I think in this, what is needed to produce wins isn't just about a presence and the ability to score goals like Zlatan can. You need somebody that is able to break teams down. I think Vela does that a little bit better than Zlatan.
Yeah. Which one are you picking to defend you in a bar fight? That's the. That's probably what this question should be geared towards.
Well, hold on a second. You cover MLS weekly basis. What do you take?
Oh, it's Vela all the way for me. I
okay.
mean, Vela's been sensational.
Yeah, okay.
Your judgment seems
Absolutely
really,
sensational.
really spot on.
Not even a question. Zlatan, 6-7 years ago, might have been a different conversation.
I mean, Zlatan.
I'm not taking this Zlatan over Vela. No way.
Zlatan, what he does is that he puts you on a different stage to showcase your product.
Yeah.
But we've also seen that now Zlatan has gone as far as to slapping people, so he gets red carded. And and there's frustration coming because it's a team that lacks in balance, and part of the reason that they lack balance is because they have to find a place for him on the field. So.
Yeah. Hey, I was asked when that Zlatan signing was announced, would he score 15 goals? I said no, categorically. Didn't look too safe, that prediction, after week 1, but I'm feeling a bit better about it.
I still think it's possible.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think that sugar rush is worn off.
Not if he's promoting products when he goes to the World Cup. I'm just
can't score too many from the stadium seats in St. Petersburg. Going back to the World Cup, thank you for doing that, Ali. Who do you think is going to be the dark horse at the World Cup this summer? Ask Hazem.
So when we consider dark horse, are we talking about teams that are possibly going to win it?
Let's take it that way. Yes. I mean, there's a clear.
Well,
no. Well, let's say quarters or semis, a surprise run, like a Turkey or South Korea did in 2002. Made a
Somebody else did that in 2002, huh?
Well, the US to the quarters. I'm saying semis.
Semis?
Yeah.
No one.
Uruguay in 2010, a surprise run.
Will
perhaps?
not be a surprise.
There'll be no surprise.
Semifinal run, in my opinion.
No.
It's the very top teams, I think, have separated themselves really from the rest of the crowd. And if the draw holds and you play who you're supposed to play, if it isn't some craze in the group stage, it just feels like it's going to be the same guys in the end.
Would a Colombia getting to a semi be a surprise? They made the quarters.
That'd be a surprise to me.
They made the quarters last time.
Yeah.
I mean, does that classify as a dark horse? I don't know if it does anymore.
Well, that's the first thing I asked you when the question came up.
Well, they're not amongst the
clarify
top.
what you want to say.
Quarterfinals, and then he went to semis.
Yeah, you won quarterfinals.
There's a very wide berth.
Yeah.
There's a very wide berth offered by Hazem.
So, because if you throw Belgium out there, they're not a dark horse.
Well, there's clearly a top 6 when it comes to the betting, and then there's
but even in that top 6, it's not really top 6. Because are you really picking Belgium to win the World Cup?
I'm not.
Okay,
no.
all right. Then it's not really a top 6. Then it becomes a top 5, and then you run into Argentina, who's
well
the next
done, Hazem.
And then
Argentina down the rabbit hole here.
Argentina's like, okay, they could be eliminated in the group stage, or they could win the whole thing.
Right.
That's the sort of team that they are right now.
Yeah. So we've narrowed it down to who does that leave? Brazil and Germany, perhaps.
Brazil, Germany, France,
Yeah. That's
Spain.
about it. Yeah.
It's the same people, by the way. It's the same teams.
Hope we answered your question there, Hazem. Finally, also on the subject of World Cup, Stefan says, I've never asked this. Has Brian met with Daniele De Rossi later in life, and did he apologise for the elbow injury? If so.
I have not seen him since that day.
No?
But I did see him. He popped into the locker room after the race and apologized. Gosh, I've never seen a man more humbled. Now,
Really?
I imagine Coach laid into him because he came through the door and there was only two of us sitting there with our trainer, and he basically goes, "I'm sorry." I said, "Cool, thank you."
That's pretty good. So that was Marcello Lippi as coach, you think?
Was that your De Rossi right there?
No, I didn't accent.
Okay.
I was motioning his mannerisms.
All right.
And
I love your
that was
De Rossi.
exactly. Thank you.
Beautiful. Groundbreaking.
But you could tell it was genuine.
Listen, he apologized. It was fine.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
it happens on the field. Believe me, I've had worse things happen to me that were done on purpose, and someone didn't apologize.
Any of them by this man?
No, not at all. Not at all.
He's got sharp elbows, I hear.
No, they're not sharp anymore.
Sometimes his cleats didn't have anything on the bottom either.
these days. More of a round.
Round elbow.
More of a
There's a little
round.
padding now.
Yes.
It's a little fluid padding those elbows.
Well, that was good. That was heartwarming. I like that. The end to the De Rossi story. You just don't imagine. I mean, he's a real, he has this image of being a hard man.
He was young too then, I'm sure.
Marcello Lippi.
I'm sure he
you
was
think-
thinking, "Oh my gosh, my World Cup's over."
Yeah. You think
And
Lippi gave
I
him
think-
an earful?
Oh gosh.
But if you're going to get hit with an elbow, that was a sweet elbow.
Good elbow. But like I've said before, I've got plates all in here. So if I'm going to get hit, I want to get here.
Right.
Hit me here.
You got the extra protection in
Yes.
place. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Well, I think we've covered it all.
I think so, yes.
Back to the weightlifting.
I'm still
we go.
confused though. What's a dark horse?
Yeah. Maybe,
Thanks,
maybe,
Aiden.
maybe that's for a future edition of Extra Time. If this one ever ends. It will. It's ended now. See you
Thank
next
you,
edition of the show. Daily, 7 days a week. I kid you not. ESPN FC available on ESPN Plus daily.